Welcome to this week's episode of Project Sullivan. We're back on the CJ5. This time we're going to be doing some more light work. We're going to do the traveler system this time. This is completely non-sponsored. In fact, we put more money into this than we should have, and they should be paying us for it, honestly. Now, the traveler system is a little more plug and play than our last system, so we shouldn't have to do a lot of soldering. There's a little bit of soldering we'll have to do. Here's the traveler system. The affiliate link will be below.
Are you going to record this?
A little bit, just to get a little bit of planning going.
See, that's why I want to tie this one in.
Oh, you already have some up here. I didn't even know you mounted these ones up here.
Yeah, I did that this week. So this is on one circuit. Those two are on another circuit.
So you want to put those on one circuit?
Yeah, and then move that one up to the top.
Well, just trying to think about options that we can do for if we are to separate the lights. How are we going to do it? Yeah, you got two males though, right? So if that connected there and then connected to the rest of the traveler system, when you take the rack off, it's going to be a pain in the butt.
No, because the splitter will be over here and you can unconnect it from the splitter.
Yeah, just do the splitter, right?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how we're going to do our other lights still. We don't know. I'm curious about something. Let me take this out and see what we have for pieces here.
Is the splitter there?
It comes with your toggle switch wire here, your inline fuse switch here. This will go to the battery and a fuse. A relay, FLS 820021 1 amp, or it says 1A but then 40 amp, 14 volt DC. And then this is supposed to connect to the lights. And then he wants to run a splitter here. That way he can connect two lights in a row. He can buy male ends to connect the lights. We can't buy a female end. I see why Traveler did it. That way you have to stick with the Traveler brand for all your lights if you want to use the accessories and the wiring harness. And there's our little diagram. They really thought through this thing well enough to make it hard for us to try to put any other kind of lights on here.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to fix these tabs right here, both of them. Well, we weld on our other tabs for our other lights.
We can mount this one real quick.
Tape measure. You got a tape measure?
I can get one. Hell, it might be okay there.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll just do that and
then center it.
Yeah. That's not centered at all. That's probably pretty close right there, but we'll get it. We'll get it with the tape measure.
Oh, you want me to tape measure it?
Yeah. Mark wants to recess this in. I think it'll look better if we pulled it out, but that's just me. It's his Jeep. He should do what he wants with it.
I guess we're gonna burn the paint off.
I get in there with a grinder. I'm like a surgeon with a grinder, dude.
Well, even if you burn the paint off, it don't matter. It should be okay, I think.
Yeah, but you get a better weld if you just throw a grinder on there for a second or two.
Let me go get a towel. That way you can weld them in and not mess up the light.
Oh, that's a good idea. You gonna wet it? Okay, so this is wrong anyway. As long as we get this good right here straight, we shouldn't have to worry about it because it slides right here so we can adjust it later. Come with me and you'll be in a world of OSHA violations. We're not going to spot weld that. We're just going to full burn it in because I already did. See, I'll take the clamps off, grind the other side, and then weld them. Well, we still got our fire suppression blanket on. I think I'm going to try to cut them ends off.
Right. I might have to get you another battery.
If you're using it as a backup light, you can actually see it in your rearview mirror. It's going to be protected from brush and stuff.
I didn't think about putting it there.
Well, here, let me mount it and you can take a look at it and see if you like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like that better.
Because you know when you're backing up, the light's never in a good spot when you're backing up.
That's a good spot then.
Yeah, because it'll shine like kind of at an angle like this where you're actually backing up at.
Right.
And then you put the other light right here and you'll be able to see it with the other mirror.
Right. Okay, I'm down with that. That's a good idea.
You want to take the light out?
No, just use the blanket.
Plus, if you're working, that's going to give you the most work area if you put the lights like that. Set up our fire suppression blanket. I might kick it back a little for a second so I can grind that out. Okay, now that we got it there, precious fire starter. In true Project Sullivan fashion, we're not going to tack weld this, we're just going to full burn it in. Before we turn on the welder, we're going to full burn it in. Take two. In or what is it, take three? In true Project Sullivan fashion, we're going to just full burn it in. You might be asking, why didn't I weld the underside before cutting it? Because I think we figured out a better way. What am I thinking? I almost forgot our fire suppression blanket.
So all we gotta do is put that one in, mount the lights, and then put it back on the vehicle, and then call it a day.
Gonna powder coat that on, full bake it. Welding's done. Well, I forgot my electrical box, so I'm gonna run and grab that so we have some extra wire connectors and the like. You got a soldering gun by any chance, or a torch? You know what, why are we doing this the hard way, Mark? There's a hole in the firewall right here.
There's a hole in it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can go through there.
Let me see if it goes into the cab though.
It does, but I think that's the heater.
No, it doesn't. It goes into the wheel well. That's for your underlighting, apparently. When they send us that. Yeah, I only see the one hole in the firewall.
Well, we can put another one.
Okay.
I don't know where this connector is.
Dauntless V6 logo I stole off the internet for our thumbnails.
Oh, really? Should be the same. That's original one. Redone.
You're leaking coolant.
Where?
No, you're leaking coolant. Oh, right here. From your temperature sensor. We're going to redo his whole switch panel.
Now he has 36 switches?
Yeah.
Go. It's going to start hopping it.
No, it's gonna be like an aircraft, dude. You get in and you're like click, 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 click. So we have these three lights up front, all traveler, and then we have we killed the battery last episode, so the light bar on top. We have this light in the back, and if you can see it through the sun, we have this light here in the back. Now, eventually, to fix this whole mess right here and here, what I'd like to do is put a fuse block or something, a wire bus of some type mounted to where it just gets rid of all that mess. And it would be nice to get rid of all these inline fuses because we got 1, 2, 3, and now we're adding a fourth one. So some of these are already hooked up. Now he was saying that he might have fried a couple of these fuses. So let's check that out real quick. I think this is for our kit that we just put in last week. That's fried. That's a 15 amp. I think that's our O'Reilly's one. The other wiring harness.
There should be a 15 amp in here.
Never mind, that's a 15 amp too, but that one's not blown. It looks like they might all be 15 amps, Mark.
Oh, and I bought 30s.
This one's a 30. And it's not popped. Alright, so I have this one disconnected. It was to try to save the battery, but apparently we killed the battery anyway last time. This is for our high beams of our Super E lights. If you want to see that video, it's in the link above. This is one of our Traveler. And this is probably our radio. Let me get the multimeter. This is our radio. I was the one that wired this, so of course I don't remember how it went. Well, I guess if you ever want to get better, you just got to keep forgetting what you did so you can relearn it until you have it completely memorized. Alright, that says that's right, that this is a positive and that's a negative. Together, that'll probably spark. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it. Don't let the intrusive thoughts win. I need to label these. Isn't that some fine penmanship? Just goes to show you how good my English is. That doesn't stand for positive. It might stand for something else. Radio question mark. So on our cheat sheet, the radio is supposed to be the top left corner. Okay, so that's the top left corner. Watch the radio. I'm going to flip the switch. Boom! Alright, so that one's connected. Now see our ground, I want to put this in here so I can have lights. So I might need to make a couple more of these onto here where it connects all 4 of them. That way we could have the toggle switches light up. I'm just going to start over. Let me see if I can slide this in here. There you go. Now all those are all solidly loose together. We might have to do something about that. Not right now though. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just throw a plate here and tack weld it. When all else fails, the traveler system does, let me make sure does come with a wiring diagram. It's super complicated. It also has a list of all the traveler lights and what their amp pull is, what their amp draw is, some instructions. I don't know. We're not going to read any of that. I'm just letting you know it's there. Now, let's see. Black and red, those are probably... Black and red are probably our power. I don't know which light these go to, though. We know what these ones are right here, so... I'm guessing that's one side of the switch. This is the second part of the switch. And the black is for the light. Right? So... let's go check and see if that turned on any lights. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Okay, that did nothing. Let's check it with the meter. Let's go to here. We'll put black and black here. We'll put the red here. I'm not detecting nothing. Is this the one where we don't have a fuse for it? It might be the one we don't have a fuse for. Let's go on to this one. Okay, so that's 13. That's nothing. Alright, so my guess is plug that there and that there. Let me go ahead and... why are these all different? This only had... see, this one has 2 prongs down here. These only have 1. It's going to be a lot harder to figure this out. Gonna make a switch, make them all the same. Why you gotta be so rude? Okay, so I need to switch to the top. Oh, there we go. Even though it's pointing at the sky. Okay. Alright, so let me label this one here. We're gonna label this one top front. Maybe I'll learn one day to write it beforehand so my handwriting's more legible, but that time is not this time. Top front is supposed to be here on our little cheat sheet. Okay, there we go. So that should turn on the top. There that goes. Now we have this one, which let's test it. I have a feeling it's going to go here though. Right there. And then the blue goes right here. Okay, let's go check it out. Alright, so we have that one there, and that one there. This one probably needs to go on the splitter. That's what the other splitter's for. Actually, I might have to go ask Mark. Now that there's a 4 switch, I think this one's a single throw. And since this is a single throw, it would make sense for me to put that on the radio. But then where do I put the rest of these? Okay, that's probably what he meant earlier when he said all the traveler lights will be on the top. I bet you the other traveler light's supposed to be on the top here. Okay, I also have to cut this off and put my yellow lights, but I also have to go to the bathroom, so I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, I did something wrong. Well, let's check our power. So if I'm correct, the red one does not have power. Did we blow that fuse? Alright, let's try this again. Ah, we do have to do some more soldering. So we're gonna have to get creative on this next one, because this wire here is for our quote-unquote laser lights. Now, when I was editing the video for the Supria lights, I actually learned how their wiring diagram was and what things were called. So the center lights I was calling the white lights or the high beams, is technically a laser light. I didn't know that, and I don't know a lot about off-road lights. So, awesome. Good to know now. Gotta keep it uniform, you know? Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make my own inline fuse because I don't have one. Take some of our shrink tube here. I'll just cut it evenly. I'm gonna need both of them anyway. Put that bad boy here. Crimp it. Little. Snip this in the bud. You know what I mean? So all we gotta do is put that bad boy there. We'll shrink tube that. After that, I don't need the soldering gun anymore, I don't believe. I do believe I won't need it again. Hopefully. After I'm done with this wiring harness, I won't need it again. When the sun goes down on my side of town. I don't have a lot of time today. Had a little family cookout earlier, so I'm getting a late start. But it's good. It's all good. You know what I might do is take this out and put a sacrificial fuse.
Or just solder it to the fuse?
No. Take one of the popped fuses, I'll put it on there. That way in case if I accidentally melt it with the lighter, I'm not wasting a fuse. As usual, the wind picks up when we go to use a lighter. Okay, we'll let that cool off for a minute. How many people have done this? Be honest. You can comment down below. The internet, it's anonymous. Nobody will ever know. I promise. I'm not the only one. I know it. Okay, see? So now I put that one there, and it kind of holds all together. Did I even need to do this now that I think about it? Because see, if I put this here, we get our fusible link. Now I need a power to go here. Well, remember we weren't going to put it there. Maybe I should be consulting my cheat sheet. Okay, laser light, middle. Well, that's the top center though. Maybe we'll put it where the backup lights go instead. All right, so we'll put the backup lights, put it here. He's standing 5 feet away from me. He'll never know the difference.
You have lights on.
Yeah, probably on accident.
Well, we'll kill the battery again. I thought that's what I was here for. Kill the battery? Yeah.
We're gonna have to make another little wiring harness here to pull this off. What I'm thinking, by a little bit, I mean this much. We'll get 2 that long, just so it's uniform. Wiring, it is the best. I'm not gonna be able to solder that connection in, but it's fine. Perfect. It's exactly how I wanted it to go. All right, this time I'm going to use the Klein Crimper 3000. Haha. Yeah, that bad boy don't play no games. You know, our sacrificial fuse might still work here. Go ahead and take that out. Just so it gives me something nice to put up to when I heat shrink this. Notice, no wind. And wind. Alright, see, so if we disconnect this bad boy here and connect this bad boy here, then we connect this to here, then our radio should still work. Alright, radio still works. And then I connect this, let's go around to here. Alright, now let's try this. Oh. Okay, it's definitely not going to work if I don't put the fuse in there. All right, now let's try this. Okay, the light's not on. That's just the sun reflecting. We should notice a difference. Oh, maybe the light is on. And it looks like I got that in backwards. Just to check. What's set to the other throw then? Nothing up there. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. Okay, now they're all up. Nothing. And nothing. Maybe I just hit them in the center. Okay, now they're all up. Our yellows are on. We might have that one wired backwards. Let's try turning our yellows off and the laser should be on. Oh, you can see the lasers over there on the... Hey, you guys. I like how they're all Tweco. One's down on one side and one's on the other side. All right, time to rewire. So, if I put that there, and I take that off there, so that makes both the yellow lights come on at the same time. But I don't want the yellow light and the laser light to come on at the same time until I want them to come on at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay, so if I throw it this way. Oh, I bet you that's what it is. I bet you if I take this off here. So I didn't need a fuse on there because all I really had to connect is that to there. Why does that one not turn off? This one also doesn't turn off, whether it's flipped or not. I wonder if it's because it has to be. I don't know why it doesn't turn off the light when you flip the switch. So check this out. Take this off, plug it in here. The bottom light comes on, but the top light doesn't come on when you toggle it. Take it off here, which I have the ground already. Slip it on there. Now the top comes on, whether it's on or off. Doesn't matter. Well, this is the weird part here, right? So I wired this one the same as all the rest of them, except for it's got both things already connected to the double switch, right? Mm-hmm. Watch this. Okay, see the light's on the bottom. The light's on the top. For whichever toggle switch you're using. That's good, right? Yeah. If you go to neutral, it turns them off. This one, go to the top, lights on. Go to neutral, lights on. Go down, lights on. The only difference is this has two things hooked up and this only has one. Same with this switch.
I don't know why that is.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
And they're wired the same?
Exactly the same, except for I have the high beams on this one and the other piece.
So one works properly.
Yes. All the light switches are working, but the lights on the toggle switch are what's not working properly. Then this one here, that's going to be our backup lights. So let me go ahead and get that and wire that in real quick. Now this is our traveler system, and all I'm going to do is take this off. If I can. Man, that don't play no games. Oh, it's got them locking. You got to cut these toggle switches off this traveler set?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I am going to have to wire that. That makes sense why these are different. I was wondering about that. Well, I thought I was done soldering. Alright, I just sent it through the hole in the firewall there. Now, he said he didn't solder his, so I'm not going to solder the rest of these. I'm just going to go ahead and wire them up. Alright, so I don't need... You know what? I might be able to hook up all the lights on this bad boy. Because I think I just have to hook up the red one here. Okay, well that did not make that switch work right. I don't know what's different. Well, maybe the red one's got to get connected here. Alright, so in our box, we got a toggle switch. We got an inline fuse. We got a relay. We got one plug-in for a light. Right here we have a Y splitter, and that's to plug into the traveler light system and then split off for two lights. So it's one light and then get the splitter so we can have two lights on one circuit. All right, so here's the rest of that traveler setup. For now, I'm just going to connect this, lose the wing nut. Dang it. All right, we're going to hook up the positive first. That way we don't have to worry about grounding out because I'm doing this with one hand. Should be worried about this wing nut, dude. It's doing extra work. Next thing you know, it's going to be like, we need to talk about retirement options. It's going to go on disability because we ruined it. Mark's already hooked up most of these, so I don't have to worry about it so much. But luckily, he did leave one for us to hook up. Now, we hooked up the battery, we hooked up the switch. Now it's time to hook up the light. Now, we'll mount the relay later. But as for right now, we drilled this hole already. I'm just going to send it through that same hole, if I can. See if I can grab it from the other side. Rubber grommets might be a future option. They're not a right now option though. Sorry for the wind. Now Mark's already got them set up here, and I'll show you how easy this is. All right, so you saw how much we connected all that. This is where the traveler system becomes, you know, a-okay. That's all we got to do to connect the lights. Nice tight waterproof connection. Now this is already hooked to a splitter for both the lights to be connected, but I'll show you how the splitter works later. See, our backup light's on. And here's our other backup light. We're gonna connect it here. That should be our backup light, but on that toggle switch. Are you joking? Okay, so it's hooked up. Now why isn't it working? What if I moved it here? No, and no. Well, I have the red connected there. That should be right. Where's the other double throw then? How does it connect? All right, I'm gonna put our wire splitter on. You're supposed to tear the instructions like this so you know you never need to use them. But it looks like gives you a pretty good indicator how it works. If I disconnect this here, connect it here off the traveler system, then we got to reconnect the light we just unplugged.
So you're putting 2 splitters in?
We have to run this light, don't we?
No, I was gonna hardwire it in later.
Oh, then why'd you buy the other splitter?
I accidentally bought an extra one.
Well, it's wired. So that's what we're doing. We're running one splitter into another splitter into another splitter. So all 3 of these lights are connected. Yeah. 2 splitters, 3 lights.
Yeah.
Add that up however you want.
All 3 work.
Okay, we're back. It's the next day. And I was thinking about this. Y'all probably already know, and you've said it in the comments. But I think I got my wires switched, and that's my whole problem. This one's the only one working right, which is the one I wired separately. So what I'm thinking is, all of these are wrong though, the traveler system. I think I have them backwards on the wiring. So if I take this blue wire and switch it with this red wire, like that, and then like that, I can connect our ground again. Now the lights work properly. So that was my whole problem. Where my assumption was wrong was I assumed the red was the hot wire, constant hot wire, and it is not. Now see, our lights work. But our radio light, oh, the radio is working, just the light isn't. Okay, so the only toggle switch the lights aren't working properly on now is for the radio. I want to push this over to one side here and just put a metal plate and then weld it, like tack weld it on both sides. Not enough to melt the plastic, just enough to hold the piece of metal. That way it pushes it this way and it stays solid. This you got. Just light install, all in all, was about like any other light install, and I'm pretty impressed with the lights themselves. If you've been watching this long, you might as well subscribe. And remember, don't wait for opportunity, create it.